It's time to find out who walks away with the last trophy Division 1 has to offer. Billingham Grand Slam ambitions on the line, 5 for 5 pending. The Slough Jets here to play party poopers one more time and collect a third trophy of their own. Starting netminders, firstly for the team we were designated as the home side in the Slough Jets. Matt Smittle gets the starting net. In the regular season he was 22, 1 and 2, a 933 save percentage, 1.69 goals against average, 6 shutouts in that time. In the playoffs he is a perfect 3-0, a 955 save percentage, 1 goal against average and a shutout in the South 1 playoff final last Saturday night against the Stretton Redhawks.
It's a pretty impressive stat line to read. And Matt Smittle, of course, a little bit more experienced than some of his teams. Like I say, this is a young Jets core. Smittle, of course, went away. He's played for the Bees. He's played for Milton Keynes. Had a little bit of time with Romford as well before coming home. Of course, Lucas Smittle, the coach of the Jets, the father of both Luke and Matt. And really, in some ways, he's kind of found himself again, being back in a Jets uniform. It just seems to have worked a little bit better for him, and the numbers have shown as a result. He is comfortable, he knows what he's getting into, and his defence ultimately can trust him.
In the away goal and to our left, Mark Turnbull gets the start for the Billingham Stars. In the regular season, he was a perfect 11, 0, 0 and 0 with a 925 save percentage, 2.13 goals against average, 1 shutout in the league. In the playoffs, 3 and 1, 915 save percentage, 3.01 goals against average, and came in relief for Jacob Hammond last Sunday to beat the Jets with an impressive 30 saves in that game.
Yeah, we send our best to Jacob Hammond. Of course, a horrible way to kind of get injured in such a massive game. It could be massively deflating, but he is here today. He is obviously not dressed, but he is here to cheer on his boys. I mean, the thing with Billingham, of course, is this sort of combination they've had of Hammond and Turnbull. That's a true kind of 1A, 1B partnership. Yes, Turnbull was kind of there behind Tom Brown last year for the Stars, but on the opportunities he's had, like you say, that defence in front of him has been able to do an awful lot for him. We are in for an absolute show.
The two best teams Division 1 has to offer. We are underway. Jets in the white attacking right to left for the first and third periods. Billingham in the blacks. Jets will drive again. Hemmingsmar down low. Sedmore tied up. Battling towards the puck. That one's off the netting in front. Another conversation going to be had here.
That's hit the top of the glass for me from my angle here. I'm not sure what the officials are going to say here, but the Stars could be in trouble. Ian Brown very, very visibly making the hand action.
Yep, and it's been called. 8-0-9. And the Jets will have a 5-on-3 early. Dan Stattersfield will sit 2 for delay of game.
This is why I'm not an official, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I saw that clip the top of the glass from this angle here, but the officials on the ice have deemed otherwise. It's certainly hit the netting, yeah. and the netting is positioned incredibly close to the glass as a result. So maybe it was a case of netting and then clip and come down and hit the glass. Obviously, the officials are much closer than we are. But again, Billingham left scratching their heads. They've got 38 seconds of 5-on-3 to get rid of. Big
moment here early in the game. Jets with the draw. Minter steps in down low. Hemmingsmar back to the Jets defenseman. Moore. Clock ticking down. Minter, Hemmingsmar. This is dangerous. There it is! Lovely bit of puck movement. And it's Juha Lindgren on the back door for his 5th of the playoffs. The Jets lead 1-0, 8:25.
Well, the Billingham Stars are going to feel like they've been hard done by on this one, but ultimately you have to defend what's there. Turnbull moves across, and just that little extra hold from Hemmingsmar just makes Turnbull come across to his post, and it is wide open real estate for Juha Lindgren.
And more importantly, still early enough to be on the power play. We'll stay 5-on-4 for 1 minute and 44.
Definitely not backwards and coming forwards. Then again, Darren Sattersfield very much of a similar ilk as well, so we might keep an eye on that one for later.
Stars win the draw. Union will get there ahead of Walls. English. They'll fight his way out of that. Looks for a pass, finds Cole. Cole from outside the hash marks towards goal. That one's off the skate of Greenhalghen into the corner. Turnover again. Ely Newman. Lovely bit of move. Ely Newman doubles the Jets' lead. And the pressure pays off. The Jets score again. 12:50. Ely Newman's fourth for the playoffs.
Well, where the puck has been stuck around sticks and skates and feet, it's been the Jets who've been the ones benefiting from it. They seem to be the ones that kind of pull out something. And just a lovely shot from Ely Newman, turning it onto his forehand, managing to get the release off at speed. And it beats Turnbull block aside. And the Jets have doubled their advantage. And with 7:10 to go in the first, Joe, they're probably good value for it.
They have been the dominant team in the first 13 minutes. The Stars, they were able to adapt on Sunday. They're going to need to do it again now. Trying to find Hemmingsmar, rolls away from him. Stars collect the puck once again. Spraggan under pressure. 3 white shirts around Hemmingsmar. The front of net. Redmond! That one fired wide.
Had all the time and space in the world, and just saw Connor Redmond look to the stars there in a metaphorical sense.
We'll get the puck again now. Back to the high man and 7 more. Quickly returns to his captain, Redmond. Trying to draw the Stars out of position. More through traffic. Redmond again! He won't make the same mistake twice! Off the rebound, pinching it at the angle. Fires past Mark Turnbull, and it's 3-0 Jets, 14:42.
Well, we said they were value for the lead. We said Connor Redmond, he'd looked to the sky wondering what he had to do. And very similar to Matt Hayward's goal yesterday, where he just bounces off of the netminder, sits up in front. And the Jets captain makes no mistake on his second attempt.
Brilliant anticipation. Redden got the scoring going last Saturday night with a very similar finish against the Red Hawks. And now gives the Jets a 3-0 lead.
Well, what do Billingham have here? They've been behind in games before. They were behind in that title-winning game against Solihull. They've been behind against Blackburn on occasions. But they've got to show they want it now. And you show you want it by turning up in the moment. The moment is now. 3 goals down in the final for a team that has been, that has conceded more goals than Slough across the course of this playoffs, but have scored a fair bit more than them into the bargain. However, this Jets team has been like watching a snake coil itself around its prey and choke the life out of it.
The Stars, they have generated some chances in that first period. They've been met by an absolute wall at the back in terms of this Jets defence and Matt Smittle. That big chance at the end, Smittle flashing out the left pad, making the save. They need to keep going. They need to keep pushing. Maybe a change in just tact of maybe let's start applying a bit more pressure on the forecheck, playing a little bit more physical as we get underway in the second period. Needs to come. They need to change the game somehow.
Yes, they cannot do a repeat of the last 20 minutes. It's just whatever they thought was going to work in that first period did not change. Change now.
Jets possession of the puck on their own end. Harmon off the boards towards Lindgren. Helped on its way. Hemmingsmar one-on-one. Hemmingsmar lates for company. Man going towards the front of the net, and there we go. 4-0 straight away. 20-29. The man on the forecheck gets it in, just follows it in. Juha Lindgren is second of the game.
Well, we talk about on Easter Sunday about something rising. That was more like Moses. The seas parted for Juha Lindgren to drive down the middle of the ice. Great work by Ollie Hemmingsmar just to hold everything up, and he's done it again, 91-88. And the Slough Jets are feeling great, 4-0 up inside the first minute of the second.
Well, changed the game. That's not what we had in mind. So now it's an even bigger hole for the Stars to dig themselves out of.
The game is changed, just not in the way we thought it was going to.
Stephen stick at it.
Stephen Foster screaming for anything. Feels it made a deflection off the high stick, and well, you may as well shout for it. You try and get anything you can get at this stage if you're Billingham.
Hemmingsmar battling in the corner with McNulty. Is it a Christian Moore? Tries to get the cycle going. Probably one of the first few misreads the Jets have had in this period.
But again, they win that battle.
Ely Newman, Hemmingsmar! And this one might be all over now. 28-44. It's 5-0 Jets. Hemmingsmar's fifth of the playoffs.
Every time they seem to have those little battles on the boards, it just keeps falling for the Jets. It sits up nicely, and Ollie Hemmingsmar in front of Turnbull puts it upstairs into the top corner. 5-0 down. Stars still haven't even taken their time out to try and reassess their options at the moment. Turnbull still in the net. I can't believe, given what we saw last week, that this is even a potential conversation, as the Jets are swarming for 6.
Tries to get out of the corner. Finds Grittans. Net front, shot save. That one's off the mask of Smithell. Throws it off. That will blow the play dead. Bodies again, just bodies on bodies on bodies. Net front, blocking everything for the Jets.
I think it was Jordan Headley yesterday who took about 2 or 3 off of the mask, and Matt Smithell there, he's thrown pads at everything, and well, yes, it's never goes down well. Some might call it gamesmanship, but that one has clanged very firmly off the mask, and that mask is very, very quickly off of his head to make sure that play is blown dead. And you know, I mean, sensible enough, obviously Matt Smithell's safety is paramount in that situation, but what has that done just as the Stars are starting to get the wheels turning a little bit on that power play? Momentum dead. What a performance we're seeing here from Slough at the moment. Even a man down, Billingham aren't getting the opportunity to settle, and they're just, like I say, they are. I don't even want to say they're sort of really smothering. They're just outplaying them. It is phenomenal.
Shot saves Smithell. Rebound again. Smithell with a second one. Third chance. Stars score. Roland's Grittans crashing the net. Finally gets one through. Smithell doesn't agree with it, but the goal is given. 32-08. And hold on, they're having a conversation.
Well, I'm not sure what Matt Smithell's complaining about there, because that looks like a perfectly good goal to me in the immediacy. We'll see from the behind the net angle here. There's the rebound. It bounces off. Well, they're calling a hand pass, but he's put it to himself, which, if you put the puck straight down, you're allowed to do. So, optimistic there from the Jets, but that to me looks like it's a good goal. And they don't appear to be having much of a conversation about it, as the official appears to be conversing with the timekeeper's bench to let them know who's got what. Grittans, though, probably one of the more likely players to have scored. He's been one of the more creative forces for the Stars, such as it's been this afternoon. And if nothing else, like I said, they needed to get one. They've got one. As good as they've been, as many points as they've scored, they have not found a way to be effective in this game. I'd be really interested to see whether Stephen Foster makes a choice to shuffle the lines a little bit going into the third.
Minter down to Ely Newman below the goal line, dispossessed by Elder on that occasion, quickly bounces back to win the puck and loses out to Spraggan on that one. Tommy Spraggan will drive the centre lane, we'll try and go through on Tommy Spraggan, gets it in, waved off, and now
well, this is nonsensical. Spraggan has the right to play that puck. I get protecting your netminder, but why put yourself into a position where you're likely to give up another power play in this situation?
Oh, here's the replay.
He's got the right to play that. I'm sorry, but he does have the right to play that. And if they've got the... This is going to be the better angle, ladies and gentlemen, to have a look and see. Yeah, okay, so he's made much more contact on the glove there than I potentially thought he had done, so my apologies there.
Well, there is a conversation going on at centre ice. They do have the goal line technology, so we'll wait and see if we get a VAR decision.
Well, from the original first angle, it looked like the puck was much more loose than it actually was.
I think if you're ever going to use it, now is the one you use it.
Yeah. But certainly from our angle there, the glove has gone down, and there is a split second, so Spraggan's ability to pull out of that challenge is going to be limited.
They're not even going to use the goal line technology. The face-off is going to stay in front of the Jets bench. Spraggan back to collect.
Does feel the space is starting to open a bit for the Stars now.
Moss tries to find McNulty. Brown collects. Greenhalgh off the bench. Towards net front, saved, rebound, again saved. And the Jets clear. Icing waved off. Greenhalgh will have to go back to collect it with 1:30 remaining.
They have slightly changed up the lines here. Grittan's now with Sykes.
Now's the chance. To the front, blocked again by the Jets, just taking away every passing lane possible. Grittan's tied up by Miles. Just pushed on ahead. Cole collects. Greenhalgh. One off the boards. Jets will throw the headers into the final minutes. Dangerous from Greenhalgh as Haliska bearing down on him. Almost creates a turnover in front. Moore. Thrown in front of goal. Chance for Redmond, and it's gone in! This one goes in. Just thrown in front and banked in off Turnbull. 39-17. Connor Redmond gets another 6-1.
Well, sometimes you have to wonder if it's just not your day, given what happened at the other end. And that one has just squeaked its way through Mark Turnbull. And the second of the night for the Jets captain.
And literally just squeaked in.
Just how far over the line doesn't matter. It's just that the fact that it does it. 2 on the night for Connor Redmond and the former Ireland international. If nothing else, there's some of those younger guys and those youngsters playing for the Billingham Buccaneers as well. Those youngsters and Stephen Wallace.
Redmond with a chance to increase to Harmon, that one this time. There was a piece in last weekend's programme from the Billingham Stars they provided, which was basically saying about the blueprint that they followed. I think it's a case of timing more than anything. Like the Jets have built this roster on youth, and they've made it a whole thing of build through the development programme again. And this year's the year they finally brought in a few elder heads as Christian Moore into the zone. Shot fire on goal, Turnbull with another save, puck collected by Elder. They brought in players like Brandon Mars, like Benny Lee Newman, like Alex Cole, and, the oldest of the lot, Neil Lydia. The wraparound attempt saved by Turnbull. And this is how it pays off. They've built it the right way. They've now brought in the older heads, and now they're going to collect a 3rd trophy of the season.
Yeah, it was that rounding out of the roster that kind of needed to be done. They had the fantastic young names, the Moores, Goodchild, Luke Smithell, Soper, Minter, Haliska, and a couple of sort of older heads who'd always been part of the system. But it was bringing in those guys to round things out, guys they could convince that yes, you can come in and be part of the project, whilst also bringing on some of those younger heads as well.
Seb Moore, short side shot saved by Turnbull. We tick down to the final 20 seconds, and the Jets bench knows what's coming as they start to celebrate. Battle against the boards now. Finally brought away. Galloway winds up, fires, saved by Smithell. He will hold on. 8.9 remaining on the clock. Nice
of Sean Galloway to give Matt Smithell that final highlight there as Juha Lindgren immediately in. Like you say, it has been a long time waiting for big moments like this for this Slough Jets side, but in the Sky Dome, Sky High Jets.
Well, as they win the draw, the Jets will try and clear the zone. Grittan's shot is blocked once more. And last weekend, it was the stars shining bright. This weekend in the Sky Dome, the Jets fly high and take the Division 1 championship.
And you cannot argue with it for 1 second as somebody tries to join the celebration. I think Christian Moore's managed to wipe himself out.
They need to work on the saves.
It was superb, consummate from minute 1 to final buzzer. And like we said, it's been a few years worth of waiting, but they finally did it this year. League champions, playoff champions, and the Slough Jets stand atop NIHL Division 1.
They are champs for a reason, and they have put on an absolute clinic in this national championship. We'll have the handshake lines. We've been made aware that there is no presentation for runners-up. We will obviously stay with you through all of it. unlike last Saturday, we'll actually be able to bring you the Slough Jets trophy lift. Yay, improvement. We're doing all right here now, everyone.
It's midnight somewhere, just not here.
Actually, I think it was 11:45 it cut off. It was 4 hours.
You see Luke Smithtle out on the ice there.
And Jack Goodchild.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Jack Goodchild is rather easy to spot at the moment, obviously with his arm in a sling. But
yes, that one arm firmly inside his coat at the moment. I did get the opportunity to speak to him before the game today, and he, irrespective of what was going on, had a smile on his face, was looking forward to it, trusted that his boys would be able to do the job without him, and they have done the job without him.
So we've been set up for the trophy and medal celebrations at Centre Ice, interesting for this one. It is going to be the first trophy lift of the afternoon. We'll quick plug. We do have one more game left for you. The MK Lightning against the Peterborough Phantoms. That face-off is at 4 o'clock. So if you haven't got your for that one, please join us for the final game in the National Ice Hockey League of 2024-2025.
Yeah, certainly a lot to look forward to for that game this afternoon. We saw Nathan Salem put the game on his back in the first semi-final, and then Milton Keynes winning the firefight with Leeds. Going to be a very, very interesting final game of the National Ice Hockey League season as the National Division brings the curtain down.
Well, Division 1, the curtain has come down, and we didn't get a firefight, but we've had one of the, as you said, one of the best team performances in this D1 game at the Skydome.
Yes, well, the Jets, top guns when it came down to it at the end of the day. The Stars just did not have the answers in the moment. The big names were kept quiet. The fringe, some of the fringe players were able to do the business, and Brandon Miles is back in Coventry with another trophy, his second National Division 1 title in 2 years with a second different team.
Yes, the man is a showman wherever he goes.
He likes to entertain, does Brandon Miles.
That's what you need in hockey.
We're told there are no characters in the game anymore, and it's just not true. People just don't look for them very hard sometimes. As you see players sort of skate around. Alex Cole, of course, moved across from the south coast, from Solent, to join the Jets project this year.
I mean, I am going to be incredibly biased on this point. I am so happy for him in particular. I've known that man for over a decade now, so the fact he has finally got some winners' medals. I was with him in Milton Keynes when the Devils lost Streatham a few years ago, and he said, "I'm so tired of silver." Now he's got gold.
I mean, certainly. I mean, I've had the opportunity to interview Alex Cole in the past, and he's a unique character. I think is probably the best description of Alex Cole. But as you say, a long, hard road to success for him.
And a long, hard road that the Slough Jets are finally at the top of. The hard work of Lucas Smith or Luke Reynolds has finally culminated in a season to remember for the Berkshire side.
And after 2 wins for the North from the Solway Sharks in this Division 1 National Championship game, it's now back-to-back wins for the South. Streatham, then Slough. And we'll wait to see as the Stars applaud their fans over on the border of blocks 4 and 5. Fantastic support across the season from the Big Red Machine. But yes, we'll wait to see what happens. Division 1 sometimes does not get the respect I think it deserves in terms of the quality and the entertainment value, and it gives you moments like this. We don't get the crossover. Some people have said that they'd love the ability to have more crossover, and unfortunately it's just something that's not able to be done due to the logistics, but it gives us grand moments like this.
So first off, we have the man of the matches for both teams, presented by Martin Peters. First up for the Billingham Stars goes to Michael Elder. It's And another interesting man in the match pick, Michael Owen, not necessarily having a bad game, but not necessarily living up to the expectations I think we had of him personally.
No, I think we expected a lot out of that top line, given what happened last week. I think, given the opportunity myself, I think Ben Greenhalgh or Roland's grit hands might have been between my choices for this. However, the one on the Slough Jets side, certainly there was a couple of candidates in there, Juha Lindgren, Ollie Hemmingsmar, but Matt Smithell is the man who picks up the beers for the new Division 1 national champions. And you know what? Some of the saves he made today, I will not argue that one a jot.
No, Matt Smithell, very much a wall. The premier netminder in South 1 nowadays.
So I just got distracted there because one of the Jets bench staff just punted one of the gloves across the ice because it was in his way.
That would be Lucas Smithell. So we have the medals presented to our match officials, which was not well received by the Billingham fans.
It's a hard job being an official, all things considered. I was speaking to a couple of members of the officiating fraternity over the weekend. It is a thankless task, and we, as Joe joked at the top of the broadcast, let me get in my line about how there is no game without them. The game doesn't work without them. And do, of course, keep your eyes on the Ice Hockey UK social media bits and pieces. There are a few refereeing courses happening across the off-season, so if you feel brave, if you'd like a go, if you'd like to give back to the sport that we all adore, maybe consider how good you look in stripes.
Well, changing presenters for the winners' medals. Hayden Hunter, the head of the National Ice Hockey League, and John Neville, director of the National League and outgoing runner of the Basingstoke Bison, I should add. First up, we have the bench staff of the Slough Jets, which obviously I should really give them the shout out as well, even though most people watching at home as Jets fans will know who they are anyway. They are in reverse order on the list we can be given: Alan Bradburn, Russ Harmon, Steve English, Natalie Hughes, Luke Reynolds, and of course Lucas Smithell.
The man who built the project, the man who has worked away, not necessarily in silence, but Slough have broadcast their successes by what you see. Not once a lot of big talking, they don't shout very, very loud. They just want you to watch what they do. And Lucas has put together a roster, like I say, it took a couple of years post-COVID for everything to just really, really settle. And as you alluded to, Joe, those veterans that rounded out this roster have brought them the success. But it's also been heavily driven by those young Slough-developed youngsters.
And it's very much a case of, all the way through it, don't sell out, buy in. And they've all bought into the style, they've all bought into this team aspect of it, and they have been fantastic all year.
Well, we said a couple of times during the game, one in, all in, and now they all win.
Should go through the winners' medals. From this game, Jude Affleck at first.
How to make me feel incredibly old, because I remember that young man starting as a junior in Basingstoke, where he barely came above the height of my knee.
That's because you are old, my friend.
You don't have to be truthful all the time.
It's a curse.
Now you're just being biased against me.
Oh dear.
Number 11, Luke Grenade.
As we go through the hats and medals, the Billingham Stars have stayed on the ice.
I'm not sure. I think Luke Dreeland was laughing about the pronunciation of his name there from Lee Keepence, our esteemed announcer here today, but I don't think he'll mind too much.
Obviously,
19, Lewis.
have captain up last, Connor Redmond, who's been fantastic today and in the playoffs just in general. He got the ball rolling last Saturday as well.
Well, you want your big leaders to step up in those moments and be in the right places at the right time. And yes, he had that shot that he hooked over the bar, and he looked up at the sky and just wondered if he'd managed to blow the chance, but he went back to the well, didn't blow the structure up, went back to his spot, and the puck fell kindly for him, and he managed to put that in. And by that point, the Jets were well on their way. And someone's given Neil Lydiard
Painkillers.
some painkillers.
33, Kyle Bradburn.
think I was trying to do doing the maths last week for Neil Lydiard. That is now title number 16 in British hockey.
I actually make it 17.
17. I know it was 16. Oh, no, 7. Of course, I've forgotten the South One playoff final. 17 for Neil Lydiard.
Yes, I have Neil Lydiard as this being his 31st season of senior hockey in Britain. What is now his 17th trophy, if you include anything during COVID, and 25 caps for Great Britain.
I mean, the man has retired a couple of times now. We'll say it. But to still have the desire to keep playing hockey at the standard and knowing that sometimes you do have to drop down the leagues, he's now found himself a role in South One, and if he wants to keep going, he's an incredibly fit ice hockey player as well for his age.
He is a physical specimen at 47 years old. And it's just as well, and you saw it today, and you've seen it in places, but today was a fantastic example of just how well he works within this system, alongside Jude Affleck, another young up and comer, former Basingstoke junior, came across to Slough, and actually knowing that you've got somebody alongside you to teach you, to show you the ways. But how good was Jude Affleck today, knowing that he has the freedom to kind of go out there and potentially make a mistake. There was a mistake, but what happened? Lydiard covered one side, Affleck came back, and he took away the chance that he'd given the Stars himself. That's the value that some of these veterans have added. It's Alex Cole on the back end as well, for that little bit of extra, that little bit of extra defensive stability. It's Brandon Miles bringing in that unique blend of skill and physicality that he brings too.
Nate Gregory was just the last man up who iced today. He gets his hat and medal, obviously going off into the sunset after today. Well, I say sunset, to Canada, I believe.
Yes, I was aware that this weekend was the last weekend. Of course, we've lost Jordan Lawday to Canada as well. He has moved abroad, so if he's watching in from his new home base, we hope that Jordan, Lucy, and Oakley are all doing very well in their new surrounds.
So, last man up, Connor Redmond will be the last person to get his hat and medal, and he gets a bonus prize to go with his. As the rest of the Jets team go and get set up in front of the fans who are swarming off to our left from the Coventry booth.
The slowest medal presentation of the afternoon so far as everybody tries to get in position.
And Hayden Hunter picks up the trophy to present it to Connor Redmond. And after they just missed out last week, no mistakes this Sunday, your your Division 1 National League champions are the Slough Jets.
Sometimes, like last night between Leeds and MK, sometimes it's one moment that takes the game in your favour. But today, the Jets did absolutely everything and anything. It was top-line players blocking shots at 6-1 on the penalty kill in the third period. They swarmed the Stars and shot them out of the sky.
The deserving champions of Division 1. Well, we've got one game left from your Final Four weekend. If you haven't got your passes, there's still time to get them. We're back here. Face-off is at 4 o'clock. And we see the MK Lightning take on the Peterborough Phantoms for your National Playoff Trophy. But this afternoon, it's all white on the night, and the Slough Jets are your Division 1 champions. From me, from Anthony, we'll see you in a bit if you're joining us. If not, have a good Easter Sunday. We'll see you later.
Take
Bye.
care.